Thank you very much for joining us today. There are two presentators, Yuko Ishiwaka and Masaki Nakada. I am a senior research scientist with the Advanced Technology Promotion Office at SoftBank Corp. And Masaki Nakada is the CEO of NeuralX. We present a bio-inspired fish simulation for generating synthetic datasets, Foids. What is our motivation? Fish farming is an indispensable part of sustainable food production. It is important to know the number and the size of fish when feeding and pricing them. However, it takes place in an underwater environment. Most terrestrial technologies cannot be used. Currently, fish are counted by eye when they are released into the water after being scooped up in nets. This method is stressful for the fish, and the count is not particularly accurate. At first, we performed quick experiments to determine what kind of data can be collected from the underwater environment. We recorded video data of fish using cameras protected by underwater housing and gathering data about the surrounding environment, such as water temperature and light intensity. However, water is the natural enemy of electronics and sensors that could otherwise provide useful information when dry. In particular, depth sensors are ineffective underwater, and wireless communication, such as Wi-Fi, cannot be used underwater. Sonar is currently used to detect fish, but although it can find schools of fish, the resolution is too low to count individual fish. After analyzing various existing data sets, it became clear that when counting fish, the only useful data that can be captured is underwater images and video. The recorded data cannot be used for training without first annotating fish bounding boxes. With potentially thousands of fish over thousands of frames, this task is extremely tedious. Even if you did manually annotate fish bounding boxes, the fish are often overlapping, making labeling difficult. Fish and shadows can be hard to distinguish. Low resolution can make fish hard to see, and bright lights can particularly obscure fish. What's more, the data you've worked so hard to label is only a fraction of the data required for computer vision training. In order to obtain fully robust data, you need to record data in the sea many times over the course of 1 or more years to capture the changes of seasons, weather, and so on. Our approach to solve this issue is generating synthetic data with annotations automatically using computer graphics. There are many advantages to using a synthetic dataset. No need to be on location. Can capture rare events. Can create arbitrary large datasets. Can create parameterized variations. Data that would otherwise be hard to capture can be easily generated in large amounts with computer graphics. The annotation process is also improved. First, automated annotation. Second, these annotations are guaranteed to be accurate, so without any cleaning, we can use the dataset for training. Third, we can create any type of annotation, such as 2D bounding boxes, 3D bounding boxes, segmentation masks, and so on. But in order to create an effective dataset, we need realistic fish schooling simulation. The original flocking simulation proposed by Reynolds in 1987 is the famous Boids simulation. There are many extended Boids simulations, and Sato et al. Proposed a fish schooling simulation. However, the fish trajectory was set by hand. For our goals, we required realistic fish behavior, so we developed our bio-inspired fish simulation, Foids.
To make our fish simulation as realistic as possible, we measured and collected data of salmonids from a real fish farm and created 3D models. Individual fish motion comprises 12 animations based on behavior observed in the recorded data. Animation playback is controlled by a finite state machine. During transitions between states, animations are blended, resulting in smooth motion. We also took a fish cage data and modeled in 3D. We set 5 cameras in the cage and recorded footages from the edge of the cage at the depth of 4 meters and from the center of the cage at the depth of 6 meters. This is our simulation framework. The fish state is observed at each time step, and then the effect of 6 components are calculated. These include 3 spatial effects that are driven by improved Boids rules, and another 3 environmental effects that are driven by light, temperature, and boundary constraints. Those effects are aggregated all together, and the fish state at the next time step gets determined. We feed that new state and current state to the finite state machine, and then the next animation at the next time step is determined. We will explain these effects in detail in next slides. The temperature preferences of fish differ by age and per individual. As the water temperature changes, fish swim to different depths to find their preferred temperature. Just like temperature, there are individual and age differences in fish light intensity preferences. As the light intensity changes, fish swim up and down in pursuit of their preferred light intensity. We added a biologically based rule to handle collision avoidance with walls. When a fish comes within 4 body lengths of a wall, it engages in avoidance behavior. The closer a fish is to the wall, the stronger the force it feels, and the more it changes its direction. Based on studies from the aquaculture literature, we set the sensing range of fish to 3 body lengths. Individual schooling behavior is affected by neighbors in this 3 body lengths radius. In order to represent the logic in our system, we improved the conventional Boids rules by making the sensing range and weight factors to be relative to the fish body lengths. We limited the sensing range for each fish to be within 3 body lengths based on Ford's paper. Based on a study by Opidio et al., swimming speed is determined by the body size of the fish. The larger the fish is, the faster it can swim. We set the per fish simulation update frequency to 200 milliseconds, based on the decision-making interval time proposed by Miller. By using the Foids algorithm, we were able to achieve a realistic simulation of the school of the fish in a caged environment. The animation with the Foids model looks more natural and closer to the real captured video. By utilizing the Foids simulation and parameterizing the date, time, weather, water clarity, water temperature, light intensity, number and species of fish size, and the fish speed, and programmatically varying the parameter, a large number of patterns of data can be automatically generated. Using a proposed method, by reproducing the light from the sun based on its position in the sky over time, it is possible to generate data with our simulation that is not in the recorded data. This realistic simulation makes it possible for us to generate synthetic dataset, which can be utilized as a training dataset for our computer vision pipeline. By simulating realistic fish behavior and their environment via computer graphics, the world and screen position of each fish are easily obtained and can be used to generate 2D and 3D bounding boxes. Silhouette ground truth data can be also produced. By training a deep neural network based on YOLO V4 with the generated scene images and 2D bounding box data, a robust and accurate region proposal model is achieved for our fish counting application. We used our trained computer vision model to detect and count fish in a video taken from the bottom of a fish cage. With our proposed method, a fish count can be calculated without manually handling the fish within 10 seconds. With the conventional method in the fish farm, the fish must be handled, and the count took 9 minutes and 39 seconds. The estimated count using human vision was 272, while the one using the fish counting system was 264. Here is our future work. We still need to work on more accurate physics and ecology-based environmental simulation. In the current simulation, lots of effect was done by shader-based post-processing. More accurate physically based simulation should enhance the reality and robustness. Secondly, although the water current in ocean should produce very strong force which can interfere and affect fish behavior, we did not include it at this time. This is to be added soon. Lastly, we would like to extend our model to other kinds of fish, and to this end, to the other animals, which can make it possible to generate realistic animations automatically. In summary, we presented our bio-inspired fish simulation system with realistic environmental rendering, which we can use to synthesize an unlimited number of training datasets for computer vision without involving human manual tasks. Our system can also contribute to any content generation for movies and gaming, as bio-inspired systems should, in principle, be able to generate realistic behavior animation automatically. Because each fish has its own intelligence as an agent, each fish can dynamically adapt to the given environment even when a scene changes all of a sudden. This feature will be especially useful for applications such as AR and VR games, where there are unpredictable events because of the interaction among human and virtual agent in real time, which requires the system to be able to respond to it in real time. This kind of system is impossible when the animation is pre-scripted. Our system can possibly give the new solution to the newer applications. Here is a recap of the data synthesis pipeline. As it is a computational simulation, we know exactly where each fish is and how the bounding boxes should be drawn. Thanks to the synthetic dataset platform, we could prepare enough number of training dataset for our fish counting network, which can help fish farms to automate the fish counting process. This can lead us to more sustainable food production for the upcoming future. Thank you very much for watching.